Good evening, I'm Bo Williams. Welcome to the 7. Let's get a look at the big 7 stories right now. Topping the list, the U.S. government has officially shut down as Congress stands in a stalemate over government spending, and that means some programs may be disrupted here at home. Now, according to the Knox County Community Action Committee's Office on Aging, Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid will continue as normal, and as of right now, their local programs have not been impacted. At the Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee, they say several government-run programs could see an impact if this shutdown continues, most notably USDA programs like the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, and the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women, Infants, and Children, also known as WIC.
So it could have a major impact, and we hope that Washington can get their act together to at least make this turnaround quickly, because we don't want to see anybody go hungry. Second Harvest will be there for them, but those benefits, those government programs, we do not have control over, and they could have a major impact on some of the needy.
The Executive Director of Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee, Elaine Strino, who you just heard from, tells us that with today being day one of the government shutdown, not much has changed yet. But again, if it were to continue for a week or more, most government programs could start feeling an impact. And the shutdown impacting one of East Tennessee's biggest tourism spots, the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. The Park Service sites will be closed to the public during the shutdown. This includes Cades Cove Loop Road and Visitor Center and the Sugarlands Visitor Center. Areas that the public can physically access may be restricted for safety reasons. Last year, the park contributed $2 billion to the local economy. Now, Becky and Sean Kelly are on a road trip from Minnesota to check off more national parks on their list.
We've had several that we planned on visiting during this trip. One of them is here. And of course, last night we discovered that the government was shutting down. So of course, we're very disappointed.
Some attractions in the park will remain open, like LeConte Lodge, and other resources that are not operated by the Park Service, like the Gatlinburg Welcome Center. It will be open. More than 30,000 federal employees work across the state, including at Oak Ridge National Lab and the Y-12 complex. Some workers, we understand, could be furloughed, while others deemed essential may have to work without pay. And we're looking at some local services that could see an impact from the shutdown. First of all, air travel through McGhee Tyson will continue, but TSA officers and air traffic controllers may be working without pay for a bit. Now, we're hearing the Department of Transportation plans to furlough over 11,000 FAA employees nationally, raising the possibility of longer wait times. With that said, essential services such as Social Security checks and mail delivery will continue. TVA officials say their operations will not be affected since the utility is funded by electricity sales rather than federal appropriations. And over at the University of Tennessee, we're told campuses will remain open, though communication with federal contacts and funding for research projects could be delayed.
It's unusual to see one go all the way through. And the problem is, if it goes all the way through, then both sides feel like, okay, we're in it this far, let's see how far we can push this. And so we've had, I think the last one lasted like 35 days, something like that. So that's over a month.
Overall impact here in East Tennessee, again, just depends on how long the shutdown lasts. All right, next on the 7 for you, execution dates have now been set for 2 death row inmates from East Tennessee. The first is Christa Pike. Her execution date has now been set for September 30th, 2026. She is the only woman on Tennessee's death row and was convicted of stabbing and killing a fellow Knoxville Job Corps worker in 1995. She was 18 at the time. Pike and 2 co-defendants lured Colleen Slimmer into a remote area of the University of Tennessee Agriculture campus where investigators say she was brutally beaten. If Pike is executed by the state, she would be the first woman executed in Tennessee since 1819. Pike's attorneys issued a statement saying they are disappointed in the Tennessee Supreme Court's order. And Gary Wayne Sutton's execution date has been set for December 3rd of next year. He was convicted of murdering a brother and sister back in 1992, but has maintained his innocence. Now, in 2 separate trials, Sutton was convicted of murdering Tommy Griffin in Blount County and Connie Branham in Sevier County. Investigators in Blount County and Sevier County worked together to try to link the cases. Sutton's lawyer, however, said the case has been riddled with problems ever since the beginning. New on the 7, we're learning how an effort to repossess a car in Alcoa ended with one person behind bars. Alcoa police got the call last Wednesday from the parking lot of the Walmart on Hunters Crossing Drive. Now, according to a police report, a tow truck driver told police he was trying to repossess a van when someone inside the van got into the driver's seat and tried to drive the van off the back of the tow truck. Now, police identify the suspect as Barbaco Diomande, and the repo man also told officers Diomande hit him, forced his way into the cab of the truck, and then tried to put the truck into drive. Diomande is facing charges of carjacking, vandalism, and assault, as well as drug charges. On your side now with a traffic alert, want to get you up to date on. Just a reminder for you here, drivers in Knoxville, you got to be aware of some construction along Alcoa Highway that could heavily impact traffic coming up this weekend. Starting just after midnight Saturday morning, all northbound lanes of Alcoa Highway will be closed between John Sevier Highway and the UT Medical Center. This is being done so construction crews can blast and remove rock that is right next to the highway. Now, the work is expected to wrap up by 6 Tuesday morning. Southbound traffic should not be as heavily affected, but we do want to tell you there will be a few rolling roadblocks to help keep drivers safe. Now, here's a look at the detour routes for those looking to get to downtown Knoxville. Again, this is just for northbound Alcoa Highway. You'll be able to use I-140 to I-40, or you can take John Sevier Highway to Chapman Highway. Again, this starts early Saturday morning and is expected to go until Tuesday morning of next week. So Monday, you'll need to have this in the back of your mind. Also in Loudon County, there's more construction that will be affecting traffic throughout the weekend. Starting Friday night at 7 o'clock, I-40 will be reduced to one lane in both directions. This is happening at the bridge over Paw Paw Plains Road. The lane closures will be in place around the clock. However, crews are expected to be finished by Monday morning. Now, this bridge needs one more weekend of work. That we understand will be coming up on the 17th.